Right, so I don't know if you remember this project, but I started this quite some time ago, making these armrests for Shamla's wheelchair. Now, we just want to say thank you to our sponsors, TNZ Home Improvement. It is time for DIY on now.
Do it yourself. Brought to you by TNZ Home Improvement Center, making home improvement easy since 1986.
All right, so let's get into it. If you remember well enough, I was making these armrests for Shamla's wheelchair, and what I had before was a 18-inch length of 1x4 lumber. To that, I also cut some sponge. It was 1-inch thick sponge that I cut to the shape of the length. I actually cut and curved the edge of this to give it a more aesthetic look, so it'd be a little more streamlined. Then I covered it with this white material. This is called batting. You can get this at your local upholstery store, all right? And after which I flipped it and used my staple gun over here to get the batting done. Remember, you have to pull it taut and then staple it with your staple gun, all right? I still have a little bit to do on this. And yeah, we saved it because we wanted to make sure you saw the entire process. So here I'm just gonna hit my batting with a little staple, little slippage there, but guess what? It's stapled, so it's fine, all right? All the extra batting we are actually gonna cut off. That's why I have my scissors here today as well, all right? So make sure your thing is stable. Make sure the fabric is pulled taut, as I said. That means very tight. And get your staples in there to secure your fabric onto your piece. This morning I also have with me some pleather, as people call it, which is basically an artificial leather material. This is actually going to be the final covering on my piece, and we're going to see what I'm going to do with that in a second. You're going to need some scissors as well, a straight edge to make your mark, and then finally your pen as well to make your mark with that straight edge. And of course, your staple gun, as I mentioned earlier, that will be used to fasten your fabric to the piece. This could then, after everything looks nice and it's put together well, you can then adjust it and fasten it to the rack of the chair itself. Then finally, we'd have new armrests for Shamla. So of course, there's going to be two. I'm doing this one on set. The other one will be done on my own time. But yeah, let's finish up this project as quickly as we can. This should be the final day. So here we go, final staple going down here. All right, so that is cut. Now you're going to cut off the excess fabric with your scissors. Make sure your scissors are sharp. Working a little bit faster here today, because you don't want this excess fabric bulging and making your piece look more bulky than it needs to look. She said that she wanted something that is a little more comfortable, so that's why I used the sponge, which is 1-inch thick, that you can get at your local upholstery store as well. I only had to buy 1 yard because I didn't need that much. All right, after which I'm going to cover this over with the pleather, and we will get to the final part here now. So measurement needs to happen. So we get rid of this batting. Again, this batting, it also adds an extra level of comfort and support. And finally, we're going to use this pleather. So you need to get a little bit of measurement going. You don't need to be too exact because you will also cut off the excess, but you do want that there's enough. So when you fold it over, you could fasten it to the piece and then also have enough to cover it properly, all right? So we get an average here. You want to probably pull an extra 3 to 4 inches over the edge. I got 1 yard of this imitation leather here, and I wouldn't need too much more than that to cover 2 arms. So here we have just about, so this is 18 inches. We have an extra 4 on this side. So when you fold it over, it must pull about 3 inches into your piece here. Same will go on this side. On this length, we actually have more than we need, so we'll probably do some extra cutting this way. But for now, we need to do some cutting. So just to get your length, and then you could also cut the width. Pull over, we have that, and then just get an average here. And you could make your mark with your pen and your straight edge that I have here. Forgive the rustiness of this. I've had this for quite some time. It has seen many battles with me. So to that, you're just about 4 inches off. ensure that you line up the edge with the edge, provided that your upholstery person cut it straight for you. Just gonna make your mark with your pen. And I hope I don't mark up TTT's table too much, because I don't want to have to clean it after. But I will clean it. All right, finally, so we have our nice straight line. We then use our scissors to cut our fabric. That fabric will then be stapled in similar fashion to the batting that we did before, and will finally be finished. Then what happens is that we can go and organize with Shamla. I could attach this to her chair, and who knows, maybe next week you will get to see it on her chair and you'd see the actual application. So I'm just making a cut along my line here that I made earlier. Once I get that cut done, I'll do another measurement lengthways, and then I'll start the process of fastening with the stapler. But today will be the final day for this project, because I really want to get it to Shamla. I really want to get these armrests to her, because she complained of how her current armrests aren't too comfortable. So I'm making sure that I help out my friend, because Shamla is family here, and that's what family does. We look out for each other. So I'm making my cuts here. I'm being very gingerly because I don't want to stray off the line at all. As I said, it is a forgiving project because you are actually going to cut off the excess that you don't use retroactively. But still, I'm a little bit of a stickler for being neat. I'm getting through the final cuts here, following this line. And again, as I said, in similar fashion to what I did with the batting, you're just going to place your piece on it. You're going to average your measurement, make sure you center it much as you can. Again, this is way too much here, so I'm going to measure later on and get a cut lengthways. But just for the sake of it, I am going to start this process so you can see where to start, all right? So same, you're going to pull this. You need to pull it very tight and watch your fingers, ensure that you are safe. And you're going to get the first staple here. All right, so that goes all the way in. You want to do the same thing on the other end. And ensure that you pull it tight so you have a nice, neat piece when you're done. All right, from here, I'm going to go all the way around, continue stapling. And then next week, you'll see on Shamla's wheelchair, you'll see them there. And that'll be some good news because it's been a long time coming. And again, she has complained of her current armrest being a little uncomfortable. So we'll finish that. So I'm going to continue here. All you need to do is run down the sides with your stapler. All right, your staple gun. All right, get this done. You fold over on this side as well. But as I said, I'm going to do some measurement here and cut off a little excess. And we'll get that done. And before you know it, we'll have your own upholstered piece. So just remember this technique, and you could do upholstery of nearly anything you want. And later on in this series of DIY on Now, I'll show you how to turn some very interesting things into things that would have been waste material, but you could then give a second life to as you upcycle some things here. But this has been DIY on Now. Tune in with us next week to see what crazy ideas I have this time.